Hey, everybody! This is Captain Yeet here for you for another One Piece manga chapter reaction slash review. This is did it start? I don't know if it started yet or not. Oh yeah, it did. I was making sure. My bad. Let me start over. Hey everybody, this is Captain Yeet here for you for another One Piece manga chapter reaction slash review. This is gonna be One Piece manga chapter 1104, titled "Thank You, Daddy." So let's get into it. Also, One Piece has been on. I think my last One Piece stream was 3 weeks ago. It's been on a 3 week break. My goodness gracious! We're finally back into the groove. I think this is when we're gonna start actually getting all the other mangas coming out weekly, and then the actual normal breaks. But January is always like that 2 week, the 3 week break. So let's get into the actual chapter. Sorry, I'm a little bit late on this. They normally come out Wednesday, and that really works out well for me for the next couple months because with my classes this semester, I don't have classes on Wednesday. So I was like, yeah, I can actually be on time. Because last semester I was never on time. And if I was, it was rare because I had class on Wednesday. But the chapter came out late. So the first chapter I'm already late on. so, but normally I should be able to do these on time because my class is not on Wednesdays, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that's good. Excuse me. We have a cover art request, which is Sanji ordering, well, not ordering, but giving some food to two mice, and one mice is proposing to the other one. That's really nice. That's really nice. Keep scrolling. Scrolling. Okay. We pick up right where we left off, with Kuma coming in for a mean punch on Saturn. A punch filled with feelings. You're that you're that Buccaneer brat. You can either live as a slave or die. Nothing else can be tolerated with someone of your ilk. Mommy has passed away. She's in a better place now. Oh, we're just getting some of I guess a little recap of Kuma's flashback. You see Jenny crying. I'm just so happy. Kamochi, sorry, but I'm at death's door. He meets Bonnie. Okay, we go right back into real time. We see Bonnie turn back into a kid. Vegapunk, what is the meaning of this? How can Kuma still be alive? I made use of our contingency plan. If you triggered his self-destruct mechanics. What? In this one panel, it kind of looks like Kuma's punch is landing. I can't tell though. It's like zoomed out. No, no. In the panel where he says I triggered his self-destructing mechanic, he's still like swinging his punch forward. So he's still okay. Um, but we see him. Whoa, this is a nasty panel, man. I mean, this looks nice. We see Kuma gritting his teeth, his punches coming in. Wham! Hits him right in the face, and Santa goes flying. And we see some blood come out of his mouth. That was a mean punch. I think he's putting Arm and Hockey up here. I can't tell for sure, but I think he's putting Arm and Hockey. But he punches him right in the face, and he goes flying and falls into the ground. He doesn't like go like through buildings or nothing. He's like maybe a few feet away from Kuma, but that was a pretty mean punch. Finally, now it looked like it did some good damage on him. Actually, well, he could still heal, huh? I didn't think about that. He could still heal, but it looked like it did something good. He's bleeding and he went flying a little bit. Everybody's yelling, "Sing Saturn!" Oh, oh, never mind. He did go through buildings. Next panel, he's still flying, and he actually goes through like 2 or 3 buildings, and he's bleeding. His horn is cut off. Oh wow, yo, he looks like he's my goodness. How hard was this punch? In the first panel, he looks like maybe 2 feet away from him, but in the next panel, he's still through buildings. He's more bloody. Wow. Okay. Everybody's yelling and screaming at town. What's going on? Did Kuma do that? He 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 just punched one of the 5 elders. He attacked one of the world's great overseers. Kuma's just standing there panting. He's still really heavily damaged from everything that he took before he got here and everything that he took just now getting here. Go help sink Saturn at once. He's under the rubble. For someone of his status to be struck by a slave, this is unprecedented. I'm kind of glad that Kuma was the first one to hit a celestial dragon. Not celestial dragon, my bad. Well, I guess they technically are, but I'm kind of glad Kuma hit Agorose. I guess you could say technically Bonnie because he did stab him first, but people are gonna probably talk about this more since that punch sent him flying. I'm kind of glad it was Bonnie and Kuma the first ones to hit them after everything they've been through, and it wasn't Luffy. It still would have been cool to see Luffy hit them. I'm pretty sure he's gonna hit him whenever he gets back up. But I'm glad it was Bonnie and Kuma were the first ones that actually hit Gorosei. Excuse me. Okay, all the Straw Hats and Bonnie and everybody else is able to get back up since Saturn's not looking at them now. They're running over to Kuma. Punch just sitting there. Hey, we can move again. Bonnie-chan, are you hurt? Bonnie runs over to Kuma. This is our chance to get Bonnie to the upper levels. Escape the island is our only objective. What is the meaning of this? That's a good question. The truth is I didn't install. Okay, that makes sense. Thank goodness. What's his name? Vegapunk. He says, the truth is I didn't install a traditional I had to just turn off my camera and turn it back on. Uh, yeah, that sucks when it happens, but my voice is back. Whenever the little Wi-Fi bar goes down to 1 when I stream, my voice cuts out. So I cut off my camera and turn it back on, and I bring my voice back. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but I mean, hey, that's what I gotta do. I got 2 comics from the practical one. Hey. Land that hit. Yeah, I'm happy too. Like I just said, I'm kind of glad Oda let him be the first one to hit Celestial Dragon and not Luffy, since everything Kuma's been through. And well, I guess technically Bonnie was the first one since she stabbed him. But I'm kind of glad Oda let them be the first 2 to hit them, aside from Luffy just doing it. And yeah, that was a mean punch, wasn't it? I didn't expect him to go that far. I mean, I knew that that was a mean punch. Kuma, I mean, it didn't look like he was using this pawpaw fruit in conjunction with it. So that was just a regular, solid punch. And he got sent packing, boy. He got sent packing. Anyway, the next panel, we see Kuma reach out his arms and hug Bonnie. This is so sweet. But he hugs her, and it says, I couldn't bear the idea of making you into a bomb. Knowing how those bums would take full advantage of that, but I still kept my word. I just used a different kind of failsafe. And he activated it. I programmed it to shut your body down completely. Between that and the loss of your individuality, you should be nothing but a vegetable now, incapable of receiving orders. But he still seemed like he still got his somewhat of his memories right because he's hugging Bonnie. Even accounting for Bonnie's presence here, you shouldn't have been able to reach us. So how are you still moving? This almost seems beyond science. It can't be what I'm thinking, can it? The Buccaneers were said to have special characteristics beyond their strong bodies. After all, your people once. Huh? I guess before I continue reading, let me read the comment I just got. The practical one says, I wonder how this version of Kuma can use his fruit and hockey. I wonder if at this point he might demonstrate Conqueror's coding since his will is so strong. Hmm. I don't know about Conqueror's Code. It is. Whew. Okay, there we go. Oh, let me turn my volume down on my phone. The Vegapunk did just say they have special characteristics beyond their strong bodies, but he cut off, so we don't get to see what he says. But that does seem interesting. Let's see. We see Kizaru. He says it's over, isn't it? I don't think that took out Saturn, but for now, we see Sentomaru. He's still alive. Kuma. We see some of the random Marines just standing around. Where's Straw Hat? He disappeared right before the. Okay, so that means Luffy's up then. Okay, that means Luffy's up. He disappeared right before we could apprehend him. What's going on my phone? Okay. All these ads keep popping up on my phone when I zoom in and it can't want me to stay still. He disappeared right before we could apprehend him. There's no way we can call in such a failure. That's true. Bonnie starts tapping Kuma's face. Thank you, Dad, for everything. I saw your memories. Mommy seemed like an amazing woman. And I saw how you actually wrote me lots and lots of letters. That made me so happy. Kuma's hugging her again. He's not saying nothing though. He's not saying anything, but he is hugging her. I don't care if everyone else calls you a tyrant, because I know there's no one kinder than my dad. Oh, to me, you're the coolest person in the whole wide world. I'll never forget that. This is so sweet, dog. Kuma can't say anything. Well, I guess he can, but I guess his memories are back. But he kind of knows Bonnie, so that's why he's hugging her and protected her. Oh man, this sucks. I guess let's continue. Poop. Yeah, I know this couldn't last for too long. We see a bunch of buildings fall in the distance. Saint Saturn, and Saturn, he's back up. Jeez Louise, man. I just turned it off, and now it came right back on like that. Anyway, I don't know when my voice cut off, but basically, Saint Saturn, he's back up. Half his horn is still gone, and he's still bleeding. So for some reason, he wasn't able to fully heal from that. But he came back, and he says, Vegapunk, I am still waiting for an explanation. Was this your doing? Vegapunk says, let me zoom in because the words got kind of tiny. I suppose it'll be fair to say that I'm ultimately responsible. But if you're a romantic, you could just easily chalk this up to the power of love. Okay. Oh, hello? Hello? Oh, I went back to 2 bars. Okay, let's continue this. Um, Vegapunk just said it was him, but you could chalk it up to the power of love. And we see Saturn, he's starting to heal. And it's kind of a cool way he's healing because we see his arm is all the parts that are missing. Also, his horn that's gone, we see like a little vision of his horn pop up to the side. And it's also spinning around and starting to heal too. And Saturn says, I see. As usual, to err is human. Yo, I love that. Because the road to El Dorado said that stuff. I love that. I might put it in the thumbnail now. I see. As usual, to err is regenerating. He starts to shoot one of his spider legs. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. It went back to it went down to 1 bar and went right back up to 2. So I thought I had to cut my video off a little bit. Sanji says he's regenerated to swing one of his legs over the Kuma to stab him again. And Bonnie obviously yells, Dad, get out the way. You gotta move. Sanji, I'm not gonna let you. And he kicks his leg off to the side. Okay. So I guess the whole looking thing doesn't work anymore, huh? All right. I mean, that's good. Upset Bonnie-chan anymore, you dirty old spider. It looks like Kizaru's finna get up. He's actually looked like he's like wobbling. My goodness, you certainly have grown a lot. Beam! Ugh. And the radical beam goes right through Saturn. Oh, that's nasty. That is nasty. Oh, Kizaru just got up. He's all the way up and he's right behind Frankie. Let's put your grown. Let's put your growth to the test. Frankie! Does he hit Frankie? I think he does. Yeah, he hit Frankie. Ah, and yo, what is he gonna take to kill this guy? We see that hole that Frankie just did with Radical Beam, and that's healing too. I'm guessing you're gonna either. All right. Oh, so does my voice not cut out when it goes to 1 bar? I thought it did. I guess I don't have to cut out my audio and stuff every time that happens. Anyway, let me finish the chapter because I'm on the last page. So Bonnie turned back into an adult and she says, Vegapunk, Dad can't move. Atlas, can you carry him to our meeting point to Labosphere? Leave it to me. And just like he said, Atlas picked up Kuma and she ran to the side. Kizaru's standing all the way up. He's back in action. Now that Kuma's joined us, wouldn't you agree there's are too many players on the board? I think it's about time we wrap this up. This is bad. It's kind of a cool shot though, with Saturn in the background and Kizaru standing there. Um, Vegapunk says, "You're a sad, sad man, Kizaru. You have no heart. I should have brought a darker pair of shades. I'm going to express myself. I'm going to embarrass myself at this rate." I guess he's thinking, well, I guess he's saying that because he's gonna cry, right? Well, even if you cry, it's still gonna go over your glasses, so that's not gonna really help if you have a darker pair of shades. The Buster Call protocol. Are you serious? They're doing a Buster Call. The Buster Call protocol has been authorized by the authority of the world government. This island has been declared a threat to the entire world. All ships take aim. Reduce everything to ashes in the name of justice. A traitor who's world, a survivor of the bloodline that should be extinct, a pirate who awakened ancient the power of the ancient god. This island has been completely infested. The forces of justice loom. 1104 end. All right. That's the chapter. Not bad, not bad. I guess before we get into the review portion, um, did y'all see that they're putting the current arc in the manga and in the anime now too is Egghead arc. But you know, the anime is just starting. We've been in Egghead for a while, so they're not really close. But they're starting to put every episode of the Egghead arc on Netflix, which is cool, but Netflix only but you know, it only had up to Marineford. So I went to go check it out the other day, and it literally goes from like episode 500 and I don't know, like 90 something. The very next episode, like 1054. I'm like, I'm like, what? And everybody was spazzing about that on Twitter and YouTube. I'm like, yeah, they're either gonna have to just drop the next 500 plus episodes in like one big huge load, pause. You just can't make that huge jump like that. That's very confusing for a lot of people. Anyway, let me do the review portion. So the beginning of the chapter begins right where we left off, with Kuma coming in for a mean punch on Saturn. Eventually, after a few flashback panels of Kuma's backstory, land a punch on Saturn, and it kind of looks like he's using armor hockey on the punch. And the punch he lands on Saturn is devastating. Like the first panel, it looked like he went like maybe 2 or 3 feet away from Kuma. Pretty decent punch. He gets some blood on his face, you know. But the panel after that, we see Saturn go flying. He goes through like 6 or 7 buildings, and the buildings fall on top of him. Like that was a mean punch. It looked like all he did was put armor hockey up there. He didn't use his fruit to conjunction it. The dad and daughter are the very first 2 people to ever hit a Gorosei that we know of. Pretty impressive. That was a pretty impressive punch. He went flying. Saturn does mention that he activated the self-destruction protocol that Vegapunk was supposed to put into Kuma when he was making him. Well, not making him because he was, you know, a regular human when he was born, but you know, putting the robotic enhancements into him. But Vegapunk said he didn't really put a traditional self-destruction mechanic inside of Kuma. So the self-destruction mechanic that Saturn's thinking of is, you know, kaboom, kaboom. Yeah, that's not happening. That's not the self-destruction that he put into it. Kuma hasn't said a word since he got here. And Vegapunk is kind of surprised that Kuma is able to remember anything at all. Because Kuma saved Bonnie, punched Saturn, looked mad about it, and he's hugging Bonnie too. But he hasn't said a word. All his memories and everything should be gone. But he hasn't said a word. So it's really, oh, my bad. The practical one put a comment. I did not notice that. Sorry. The practical one says, I wonder how the fight's going to break down. Is it going to be Kuma and Bonnie versus Saturn? While Sanji fights Kizaru until Luffy comes back? Down for the count. He can't move at all, so I think that was his last big hurrah thing he was gonna do was punching Saturn. I can see Sanji fighting Luffy until Luffy. I mean, I can see Sanji fighting Kizaru until Luffy comes back, but Luffy wasn't, passed out on the ground like last chapter. They said Straw Hat is gone, so unless somebody picked them up, where's Luffy? Luffy's first priority should have been fighting Saturn or Kizaru. So unless somebody grabbed him and pulled him to the side, I don't know where Luffy went. That's kind of weird. Number two, way because he was eating a lot of food last chapter. So yeah, he should be ready to go. So I don't know where Luffy is, but yeah, I can definitely see Sanji fighting Kizaru until Luffy gets back. Saturn though, I don't know unless Zoro comes back. Well, I don't know. He's still fighting Lucci. Jinbei, yeah, I guess Jinbei and some other star has to fight Saturn too. I don't know. Okay, let's continue the chapter. So after that, Kuma starts hugging Bonnie, and obviously Vegapunk is surprised because Kuma shouldn't be able to remember anything, let alone move after the self-destruction protocol happened. But he did say the Buccaneers were said to have special characteristics beyond strong bodies, after all. You're people once, and then we cut off. So we don't get to see the full explanation of how he could have done this. But I'm guessing even after death or something like this, Kuma's people, the Buccaneer tribe, their body will still act just like their regular selves, even if they can't do it themselves. That sounds a bit confusing, but I guess that's what Vegapunk's trying to get. Okie dokie. Whew. That was a little weird. The practical one says maybe hockey. Oh, I took a screenshot on my phone by accident. Sorry. The practical one says maybe hockey persists after death for them if they have a particular goal. Ah, maybe. I like that. I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna stick with what you're saying. I kind of like that. He also says, so far, Kuma, he won't truly die and stop moving until I guess he finishes whatever he needs at Egghead, since he's clearly there for Bonnie. Yeah, so I guess he fully won't shut down until Bonnie's completely safe, or until she gets off the island, or until he. No, I was gonna say maybe or until he kills Saturn, but um, I don't know. It's probably more just a Bonnie thing, more than anything else. So until Bonnie's completely safe, like she gets the heck off of Egghead and away from everybody else, then I think it should be good. But Saturn, he goes in for a kill shot on Kuma, and Sanji was able to move and kick his leg away. And then Frankie was able to do a radical beam on him. He's able to heal from that. And Kizaru was like, wow, you guys have gotten stronger. And he see tank is just like a regular light beam. And we don't see Frankie for the rest of the chapter. And in the very last panel, we see Kizaru saying, okay, we sort of kind of wrap this up. Atlas picks up Kuma and runs him over to where he's supposed to, runs him where they're supposed to meet at to leave. And Saturn, he does a buster call. He doesn't like anything on Egghead. So he goes, yep, this place is infested. We got the world's greatest scientist or whole world, 200 years of his time, learning about the taboo arts of the poneglyphs. We also got a person that was able to awaken the god Nika fruit and a buccaneer tribe member that should be extinct. This island is disgusting. Buster call it and bring it to ashes. Now, that kind of sucks for all the technology and stuff that that is very interesting. That is very, very interesting. Oh, Blades. When when Luki got here and when Kizaru got here, they were saying they can destroy this whole place. Besides from the lab, another they said they said the main lab, a different part of the lab, and one more thing. Because remember the Gorosei made that whole deal with York so she can make the Mother Flame unlimited source for whatever reason. And she needs some of the lab to do that. Now Saturn's saying bump it, just destroy everything. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's not gonna backtrack. I think he's just too mad at this point. At this point, yeah, that's so weird. The Practical One says Saturn only cares about York and the Mother Flame. I think he assumed they can get those safely since they have the numbers. Yeah, I guess so. And Egghead is pretty big, so I guess the next chapter he'd be like destroy everything but the lab, right? Because they need the lab. They at least need the lab part so they can make Mother Flame. That's what they need. That's exactly what they need. Oh yeah, I get. Do you guys think that Lilith or one of the? Because I'm thinking Vegapunk, the real main Vegapunk, might die, and all the other Stellas besides from Lilith. I kept thinking like, what if Lilith joins the Straw Hats as the scientist, right? I mean, Captain Yeet, we got Frankie. Yeah, I mean, he's really the carpenter for the boat. He can make other things because he is smart, but he's not Vegapunk smart. She could join the crew as the scientist. We get another female character. I was just thinking about that because do you remember last year when we were trying to figure out who's killing the Stellas, like the whole mystery part that was happening. I was like, yo, the only one that we're really close to is Lilith. We've been with her the longest. She's even the one on top of the Straw Hats boat right now. Like she's already on the boat, so she could join the Straw Hats. All the other I forgot his name for a second. Saka. That was a cool name though. I like that. His name was Saka. I completely forgot his name for a second, but the only one that we were actually close to, and they're like the main two, were Lilith and Saka. All the other ones were like, yeah, okay, but Saka and Lilith were the main two, and Saka died. That kind of sucks. So Lilith could join. That'd be kind of cool, right? I was hoping that. And we still need to bring in the fact of the Iron Giant that was reactivating during the Luffy fight with Kizaru, and now we just cut away from that. So I don't know. That's so weird. The practical one says I would want Bonnie to join, to be honest, and the Vegapunks to go to the Revs. Oh, that'd be cool. All the Vegapunks of the Revolutionary Army. Man, they're gonna be packing with some. If that happens, the kind of weapons they're gonna have are gonna be massive, man. They're gonna be ridiculous. I don't know if Bonnie's gonna join the crew. I don't know what she'll even do. Or theory that Bonnie might join the Revolutionary Army and still take over the position that Jenny had in the East or the West. No, I think it was the East Coast. Whatever division that Bello Betty has, because he took over from Jenny. That's the position Bonnie's gonna have once he's old enough. I kind of want, in my head canon, I was thinking about Bonnie going to Wano and de-aging Momo back to a kid, and then Kinemon would just be like the advisor to Momo, because his childhood got taken away. That really sucks. So he can grow up normally, and he can also, and Bonnie. Cause I don't know. My head canon was Bonnie's gonna do that, and Kuma's gonna be like, okay, stay as a kid. You can't transform into an adult and stuff. You're gonna grow up normally as a kid. I mean, I guess he can still use a devil fruit to fight if she needs to, but end of story, Bonnie would turn Momo back into a kid so he can have his regular childhood. Ugh. But that is the chapter. So, is anything else? No, I don't think so. Okay, well, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all later. Thank you all for watching. I think you all are there for being wonderful beings, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. All right.